Hey everybody, welcome back to Gear Night. Thank you so much for tuning in and subscribing and liking and commenting and all the stuff. Tonight, we are taking a look at the Benson Preamp Automaton MkII. It's the big fancy one. And we're just going to run through a few sounds and see if we like it or not. It's a new pedal for both of us. My name's Ross, by the way.
I'm Alec.
There we go. And we're just going to see if we like it or not. Who knows? It's a lot of money, so maybe it's awesome. But before we do that, Alec, what guitar you got?
Oh, this right here, Ross?
Yeah, that right there.
This is a Fender Jazzmaster.
Nice.
60s reissue.
Okay.
Lacquer. Nitrocellulose lacquer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's thinner.
Okay.
And it's surf green, I think.
Yeah, we think.
It might be seafoam green.
We've got that running directly into the Preamp MkII, and then we are running into the Strymon Iridium, which is new for us. I've been using it for the last month and a half. Really like it. We are on the Vox setting, pretty much cab B, by the way, and all their knobs are right around noon, give or take a little bit. And this is the clean tone for that. That's fine. All right. I turned the room reverb off because we don't need it.
We don't need it.
Let's go through this so everyone knows what's up.
Yeah.
As you can see, these are faders. You can see what they're labeled: volume, treble, mids, frequency, bass, gain. At the bottom here, if you are not using a MIDI switch, there are presets, and so you can choose if you want it to jump back to 0 or 5 after scrolling through. I do suggest you use MIDI with this. It makes it way cooler. Then you have your two mid controls here. You have whether you want the mid control and frequency to be pre or post the gain, so that changes the sound a little bit. And then you have the Q of the mids, so when it's black or off like this is a very wide range of mids. Blue, a little bit narrower, and red, even more narrower than that, so you can kind of fine-tune the mids frequency, and then here's the volume of those. After that, you have a clipping diode, silicone and germanium, pretty much like roughly Tube Screamer, Klon.
Okay.
Type
cool.
of deal, which is pretty cool. You can use that without the fuzz, or you can also choose that with the fuzz. There are two fuzz options here. Blue is open, so kind of just like a fat, thick fuzz. Gated is spitty, so like that Velcro stuff. And then probably the coolest part of this entire pedal is that the faders move.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. When you save a preset and stuff like that, we won't be saving too many presets. We're just going to kind of leave things as they are and see what sounds we can get out of it. So, clean tone now, and we'll start right here. Pretty much everything flat, nothing's on. Sweet. With everything, with the mid stuff off, these don't work, so you can just strum a note. These don't do anything. Cool. So when everything is off, it's pretty reminiscent of the Benson Preamp, the first one.
Yes.
We have a video on that too, so check that out if you're interested in that. But you have your treble and bass control, and then you have your volume and gain just like the normal pedal. So that's why this is the MkII. All right, let's go ahead and start. Let's mess with the gain like the normal Benson, see if it's still there. Quite a lot of gain on tap.
Heck yeah.
Gets a little muffled, so you can always dial back the bass and change that type of stuff. Sounds good. Let's go ahead and start messing with the mids. This is where kind of the power of the pedal comes into play a little bit. So we'll just go to pre on the mids, and we'll leave the mid control at its widest frequencies.
Okay.
So you can even hear when it's off like this, and then just hit a G, and then I'll turn this on again. Brings in that mids, and so
More
it's a
mids.
little bit more life into it.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. Let's just do this cue real quick so that you can hear it. Again, this is the amount of mids. This is the frequency of the mids. Just to show that off for a second, I'm going to go to the narrowest frequency and then just play something. And you got that fake wah pedal there, which yep. You can't actually map that to an expression pedal. There's tons of videos on that, so check that out.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty freaking sweet. Okay, what were we doing? Oh, we were narrowing down this cue a little bit on the mids. Go ahead and play again, and we'll see how fine-tuned we can get. Cool. So you can fine tune that to however you'd like it. Mids bring life to the guitar.
Right.
Too much can be intentional, where you can get like the cocked wah sound for solos and stuff. You just have to kind of know what you're doing with this pedal, I guess.
Yes, that seems to be the big thing.
Which is the big thing, yeah. Let's check out the clipping diodes here just real quick. So silicone should be, or I guess kind of is, Tube Screamer. That would get the job done for sure.
Yeah.
So all I did, push the mids a little bit like a Tube Screamer would, a little bit of treble, and try and cut the bass a little bit.
Yeah.
So give you that mid hump type of
for
deal. Yeah. And then Klon, you could kind of probably leave it at the same settings. I switched through them. I don't know if you could hear any
kind
difference.
of like the Klon maybe a little more.
The germanium?
Yeah.
That's fine. Maybe a little bit more open type of deal?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, for sure. We haven't messed with any of the mids post, but you can do that as well. Let's do that real quick. So just to clarify, the difference between the pre and post is like EQing before hitting an overdrive, or having an overdrive and then EQing after it.
Okay.
So
that's helpful.
Yeah, that's just the only difference there. So post would be maybe a little bit more dramatic, at least that I heard.
I think so.
So something like that. Now, the coolest part of this pedal, maybe not the coolest, but it's sweet that they threw this in here, I think, is there's an awesome fuzz that you can use in here too. So we'll leave it on the narrow setting here on the mids, and then we'll just go into the open fuzz.
That's cool.
It's
That's
wild.
sweet fuzz.
Yeah, it's sweet. I wouldn't have a pedal that just does that, but
Sure.
because you can just click a button and it happens, it's sweet to have it in there, I think.
Yes, that's huge.
Yeah. So before we get into some final thoughts or anything like that, let's just turn it on. I maybe have 3 or 4 sounds that I've saved. I think it might be like 1 through 4. I use them differently. So this is the first thing in my chain. So I maybe have a Morning Glory after this. So I have it set up like a volume boost with no gain. So the gain's all the way down. I kind of leave it flat and I bump the volume just to hit it harder. And then you can obviously change that from there. But we'll just go through. Something I was worried about with this is when I was scrolling through presets or even changing via MIDI, if there was like a drop off in sound or like if it like took a breath to like change anything like that. And you'll see that it doesn't. We'll scroll through the 9 that are in here just so you guys can get a vibe. I don't even know what all the sounds are, so it'll be fun.
Sweet.
Nice.
We just ran through a million things.
Yeah, there was a ton there. So let me get your thoughts and final thoughts. Is this your first time playing through this?
Yeah, I've never
Okay.
played through this.
Let me get your thoughts.
I've never heard it. I really liked it. It's just so complicated for me personally.
Okay.
I think all those sounds like complicated for me in the sense of like I'm not smart enough to know what to do with this pedal. Because I'm sure like there were some really great sounds in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's the best sounds in there. I'm just not confident I'm the man to find them.
That's fair.
I love that fuzz a lot, and I was a big fan of the Benson, just the preamp. Still might get one. Who knows? So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. Is that I'm sure it's in there, which I feel like might be similar to your thoughts because the bombshell for the people. How long have you had this pedal?
Like 2 months.
And are you going to continue to have this pedal?
I don't know. It's up in the air right now.
You're probably going to sell the pedal.
I'm probably going to sell the pedal. The only reason being is twofold. It's pretty expensive. If you don't know that, you can get
how much is it?
Like $700 or $800, I think. So you can get like
that's more than I thought it was.
You can get like 4. So I sold 3 pedals to get this.
Yeah,
I could sell it and get 3 or 4 more.
Yeah,
or sell it and save money. Like
right.
So that's one reason I would do that. The second reason is kind of along the same lines. Is that it's all of the sounds are in there.
Mm-hmm. You
have to just know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't want to spend the time to do that. If I wanted to do that, I would have like, I would just go back to the Helix or something.
Yeah.
Like I'd spend the time doing that. You could get 2 of these for the price of a Helix and have everything you ever wanted. So
right. It seems like if you were had a studio.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Somebody would be like, this would be awesome.
I think it's a sweet pedal. I've used it for, I said, the last 2 months, and it's awesome.
Oh,
it
yeah,
does
you've had
everything.
some of the best sounds.
Yeah.
They sounded sweet.
I have no issue with it. I think it's an awesome pedal. I think it's a great option if you want to do this. Again, with MIDI, you can just boom, boom, boom. You're changing sounds. You don't even have to have another overdrive on your board at all if you didn't want to.
It's a sweet piece of gear.
Yeah, it's unreal. The mids are super helpful. They can also be super detrimental, again, if you don't know what you're doing.
Yes, that would scare me. Is a lot of times we say, which again just talks to maybe how dumb I am, where we're like, there's not a bad sound in this pedal. There's tons of bad sounds in these pedals, but there's also all the good sounds. It's like high risk, high reward.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, so I would feel like I would be like, this is my tube screamer thing, and then like it'd be jacked. Like,
it'd be way off.
Yeah, I don't trust myself enough.
Yeah.
To be the one. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's tons of videos out there of on YouTube of guys saying, here's an 808 and I'm going to get an 808 sound out of this pedal. And they do it, and it's awesome. And you could just copy their settings. Mm-hmm. So it's not a big deal.
But also an 808 is $50.
I mean, yeah. So you can just get, I don't know. It's awesome, and it's for some people. I love to try it. I love the pedal. If you have it on your board, I think it's awesome. Yeah. And you should get it if you want it for sure. If it inspires you, that's what it's all about. Yeah. So those are my final thoughts. It can replace everything. It can do everything. Boost, overdrive, distortion-ish, fuzz.
Yeah.
MIDI controlled, preset controlled if you don't like MIDI. It's an awesome pedal for sure. Price point is up in the air. If it's worth it
for you, it's worth it for you.
If it's for you, yeah.
It's metal. It's heavy. It's real wood. It's cool.
It's metal. These are real wood sidings.
I'd pay at least $300 to watch the knobs move back and forth. Yeah. So that's at least a part of it for me right there.
I'll be honest. That's the coolest part. And the knobs. Maybe this means something to somebody, but the sliders are the right size. Because even the ones in the middle, if you just take your foot and move it sideways, live, I've just been like, oh man, it's just not cutting, and I'll just like hit both of these or move it instead of having to like turn a knob with your foot sideways. You can just literally just step on it and do this.
That's sweet.
So that's pretty sweet. And then once you move it with your foot, you just hold this to save it.
That's very nice.
And it's safe, so you won't have to do it like for your next gig or anything like that. It's awesome. I have a feeling that over the next 5 to 10 years, every overdrive will be like this. They'll be programmable. I think
it's different. Maybe that's more of a multi-effects, but Boss has new.
They've had that. Yeah, they've had the OD200 or something.
It's like yellow.
The yellow one. Jet pedals released a couple months ago. They're called the Lion and the Lamb. That's a blues breaker that is MIDI controllable, and then it's all analog. And then a Rat style pedal, that's all MIDI controllable too. So I think you're going to start seeing that more. So I think this pedal may be ahead of its time.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
And I don't know how many they're making, but
hot take.
That's a hot take right there. So cool. Well, any other thoughts?
That's it for me.
Nice. Me too. That's been Gear Night. Thanks for hanging out and checking out the Benson /Chase Bliss. They're a huge part of this. Preamp Mark II, Automatone. Let us know if you guys have any questions or anything. Who knows if I'll be selling it, but if you want to hear it paired up against something.
Or you want to buy it.
Or you want to buy it, hit me up. No, just let us know if you want us to like shoot it out against anything else. But anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. See you later.
Bye.